All right, now two things before I start this video. Whenever I'm going to be explaining a concept, I'm going to try to use the words I or my, just talk about myself, because I notice I'm kind of saying your, you, and I'm not really in a good position to be giving advice or to be talking about you or what happened to you. So I'm just talking to myself. In case I am wrong, then it's just me, not me talking about you or giving you advice. It just sounds a little bit condescending, like, watch me, I'm struggling with this, and I'm also going to tell you how to do it. No, let me do it first and then I can give advice. Second thing is, since my last video, since the last video where I say that I traveled to detox, I have relapsed. And I went again and traveled to detox again. And I noticed that that is the wrong way of doing things. And I will explain why. So I made a video some time back talking about how if I want to remove bad habits, I need to remove one at a time, because from all the times that I've tried to remove bad habits, be it nicotine, caffeine, watching YouTube videos, whatever it may be, I tried to remove everything cold turkey. And I've only succeeded when I removed one thing at a time. And we can talk about why I relapsed and why I got back to it. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video is how to remove it, or how I'm planning to remove it in 2026. So very simple. First thing is, I rank them from the most destructive behavior to the least destructive behavior. And you might be wondering, well, why is nicotine the least destructive, even though kind of objectively it is the most destructive? If we talk about dopamine baseline and all that stuff, but I will get into it. So first thing is YouTube entertainment before sleeping. Now, the reason why I put it first is, well, keywords, little spoiler, sleeping. Sleep is the most important thing ever, I could say. You can watch any guy that does biohacking of any sort, and they all say that the most effective thing is fixing sleep. And without even watching any of them, I have noticed myself that the times when I was the most productive, where I had where I succumbed the least to my urges, was when my sleep was fixed. And back at the time, I had a little Whoop, which I have ordered, and I'm just waiting to arrive here. It's gonna get here in the 5th of January. But basically, when I had my Whoop, what happened is, I was tracking everything. So when I had like shitty sleep 5, 6 days in a row, I would be aware of it. I wouldn't just think, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I would see it. I would see the data in front of me, and that would give me more, that would give me more data on how my sleep is, and it would make me more aware of the fact that I need to fix it. And so, if I fix sleep, what happens is I am less likely to succumb to urges. I have more focus. I feel more restored and ready to take the day. And what happens is, when let's say this is a timeline. The brain only really remembers kind of sometime before, few weeks or a few months, and that's what it builds the identity on, and also that's what it thinks is right. And I don't know how to explain it, but that's the brain basically recognizes this as reality, and that's just normal behavior and normal things. And so, if sleep quality has been shit for, I don't know, 6 weeks in a row, I would say, or a few weeks in a row, X weeks, I don't really know, then that's just what sleep is. You're basically supposed to wake up like this. That's what waking up feels like. The day to day, that's what it's supposed to feel like, but it's not really true. And really, the only way to find it out is to try to have like a good week of sleep. And I'm saying like 80 plus percent consistency, sleeping at the right time within 30 minutes. So if you want your sleep time to be at 10, then something between 9:30 and 10:30, that's when you want to sleep. And I'm saying you because you can give it a try, and I've done it, and I can say that with a lot of confidence. And basically, how this ties to this is, when I watch YouTube and when I do any sort of entertainment before, my brain is not really winding down. It's not really relaxing. That's number one. And number two is, I'm getting blue light into my retina, into my eyeballs, and that basically communicates to my brain that it's still morning time, or that it's still daytime, and it doesn't really give me molecules in my brain that are going to be conducive to good sleep. And if sleep is bad, then everything is bad. And so I need to fix this first because this is the main thing that ruins my sleep. Give it a try. Try like just one night to remove watching stuff before sleeping or avoid completely screens 30 minutes before sleeping or even an hour before sleeping. I don't care if you roll in your bed for like an hour before sleeping, if you have to meditate or listen to some NSDR or whatever it may be. But you will notice that you will have extremely good sleep. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. And by removing this, it's gonna make removing these two extremely easy. Now, caffeine. Why is it number two? Let me grab my eraser right here. The reason why it's number two is because it also ruins sleep and because I tend to fuck it up when it comes to the dosage. I tend to get to the 800s, 900 milligrams a day, and there's no way that that does not interfere with sleep, even if the last dose is at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. And it would be kind of crazy to get to 900 milligrams at 10 a.m. when you wake up at 7. Crazy. So let's talk about the quarter life of caffeine. Quarter life means just how much caffeine you have left in your system after ingesting it and after how long, how much time. So the quarter life goes, or the half life goes something like this. So around 6 hours, let's say this is a cup of coffee that you drink, that I drink. Around 6 hours, I would have almost this amount of caffeine that is in this amount of coffee or consumable drink that has caffeine. And basically, if we look at what happens 12 hours after, we got about 1/4 of the caffeine ingested. So if we look at this cup, it would be almost like, so this is like how much we had in the beginning. It would be almost like ingesting this much at 12. So if my last drink was at 12 p.m., at 12 a.m., it would be almost like drinking this much and then going to sleep. And even if I fall asleep at 10 a.m., at 10 p.m., then by this time I still have this amount of caffeine in my system, and that disrupts quality of sleep, and it also interferes with natural sleeping time. So I don't think I'll sleep at 10 p.m., but it'll be a little bit more and I'll feel a little bit more alert and whatnot. And that just fucks up sleep. And that's one of the main reasons why I want to remove it. And I really want to only use it in the way it has been intended to be used, which is to increase productivity in days where it's tough, like you didn't have good sleep, or it's a tough day that's going to require a lot of energy more than the energy that you have naturally. That's number one. Number two is I go way above what I should go. Normally, you don't want to go over 450 milligrams. That's what the FDA says is healthy. And I tend to go around 800 to 900, which is technically still way below limits. Like you have to ingest around 11 grams of caffeine to die. I did the research to know how much I need to drink before I die. But 800 to 900 is still too much because it fucks up with sleep and also just makes me super jittery. Gives me the fake illusion, or it gives me the illusion of fake productivity, like I'm getting shit done, but I'm just high on caffeine. I'm not really getting a lot done. Give it a try. Like, don't drink caffeine. Try to watch a YouTube video. You will feel like you are wasting time. Drink 200 milligrams of caffeine, watch a YouTube video, you will feel like you have been productive. Wait for it until it wears off, and then you will feel like you were not productive, or at least that's what happens to me. So that's caffeine number two. Number three is nicotine. And the reason why nicotine is number three as well is because when I'm going to be removing this, I'm going to feel extreme withdrawals. And again, another thing I forgot to mention here is that instead of removing it cold turkey, I will just be tapering it off. I cannot afford to have a week of unproductivity or to have a week where I am not productive. I do not have a business that's super leveraged. I do not have a business that runs automatically with people already working in it and I just have to supervise. That's not the case right now. I have to be directly involved with the business at all time to see it do well. And so I cannot afford to go 9 days, 'cause that's how long it takes to completely remove caffeine with addiction. I cannot afford to have 9 days of very, very low productivity and feeling like shit. And so I'll be tapering off, removing around 30% every 3, 4 days until I'm not taking any. And during this time, I will still feel a little bit like shit, and my productivity is going to be a little bit less than usual. But then the nicotine is going to help. So nicotine is going to increase how much dopamine I have, and at least it's going to make work bearable. So that's why I want to remove it last. And once this is no longer an issue, then we can go into nicotine. And here I am planning to do it for a little 4 to 5 days getaway where I'm going to go somewhere completely new with no cues and no triggers to consume nicotine. And then it's going to be pretty easy because I've tried it before. And that's how I'm planning to remove all this. Now, the timeline for this is I'm going to try to be a little bit more realistic so that I don't fail again. I'm going to try to do it in 3 months. So I'm going to take about a good 1 to 2 weeks to remove this. And I'm not saying I'm going to be removing it one day at a time or like tapering it off, but just going to be removing it. It's going to be a little bit tough to adapt, but that's the point. It's tough shit. And then after 2 weeks, we get into this, and that's going to take another 2 to 4 weeks. And then this one is going to take another 2 to 4 weeks to completely remove the urges. That gives us around 3 months. So that's the plan, basically, for me to completely remove the bad habits that I have, or at least the ones that I feel are most destructive to my growth. And I'm going to follow my own advice, which is to remove one thing at a time instead of trying to cold turkey it and relapse 3, 4 weeks later. So hope this helps any of you in any way, shape, or form. I think it will help me, and I will document this and keep you guys updated.